Americans are so shocked, very emotional after Speed tour in Ghana. A lot of them did not believe that there's somewhere like this in Africa, and these have actually gotten a lot of people talking. So we are going to be checking out series of reactions, Americans reacting to IShowSpeed tour in Ghana, Africa. Let's check out these videos together.
Dude, what is going on here?
After watching Speed in every single African country in West Africa, every country is beautiful. But when those American people step on Ghanaian soul, their faces just light up. Like, they emanate brightness, joy, happiness. And I would really recommend that every African American person goes to Ghana just once. Africa is good energy, is good vibes. But if you want that peace, even I felt it on my own holiday, go to Ghana.
I am sincerely happy that Ghana did well. I mean, they welcomed him, they comforted him, but let's break things down. First of all, I knew it. That bodyguard is a Ghanaian. Now, whether you're single or not, we can all admit that that is a handsome man. A few times on his stream, you know, I did see, is he called Shaka? And I was like, oh snap, I hope he's not going to take over. And he didn't. Turns out he is part of the people that organized most of the trips throughout the African countries, and well done. So back to the live stream of, you know, IShowSpeed visiting Ghana. First, when I saw him at the waterfalls and I think it was Bria Miles, I was like, oh Lord, let this not be like an African American takeover. May this please still be like something with a local approach. And in fact, they did well. Simple mango eating and all of those things. I loved it. They took him, they kind of gave him, I think they call it like an initiation with his Ghanaian name. I think it's Berima Kofi Akufo or something like that, which is good. You know, that whole experience was good. It was cultural. It was, yeah. Now, some people complain that it was complete chaos. Well, from the looks of the way he does his live stream, chaos is what helps him to build momentum. So if you don't want to see chaos, don't complain about his stream. It's his style. He has energy. He holds that, you know. Shout out to Wodemaya. I think it was a perfect person to, you know, have as a guide, simply because his story also is about highlighting Africa on YouTube. It all made sense. You could all see the structure and everything. Every part was like guided by somebody perfect. There were a lot of things that I expected, you know. It was also kind of funny to see how, you know, the Ghanaian Americans were like, I'm from New Jersey, I'm from Atlanta, to kind of create that bond with him, you know. It was cool. It was cute. And one thing I love, I expected Hamama to show up. Definitely with her story, that angle of shea butter, like she did well, man. I would have loved also for the guys. I think there were some guys that did a commercial about, you know, keeping the area clean, you know, plastic waste and stuff. I would have loved for them to also have like a story and to take him around. But hey, it's just one stream, 5 hours. He ate, he enjoyed. This is good. Now, for those of you that thought Dirty December was an overload, be ready for more, because this has gotten people to buy tickets and visit African countries, Ghana included.
Can someone please tell me why this whole entire time I thought all of Ghana looked like this? But bro, I just literally saw a video of what Ghana actually looks like. There is no way, bro. There is no way. Somebody tell me this is fake. Somebody please tell me this is fake. Let me show you. Wait, what? There is no freaking way, bro. There is no way Ghana looks like that. Someone tell me that is real.
IShowSpeed is probably one of the most dangerous black men in the world right now. And not for the reason you think. Dangerous because he's dismantling centuries of propaganda in 60-second clips.
I didn't know Africa was such a beautiful country. They got cars, they got water, they got Wi-Fi.
It made us think Africa was such a poor country, bro.
Why aren't there cities and houses on the stream? Are you sure that this didn't secretly stream in Japan? Because they're supposed to live in mud huts with no technology.
Millions of Americans and Europeans are experiencing a complete psychological breakdown on social media. They're posting videos of themselves crying, actually crying. Some are angry, others are in shock. Many are sitting in stunned silence, staring at their screens, trying to process what they've just witnessed. What caused this mass crisis? IShowSpeed. Yes, IShowSpeed. A young man with a camera walked through African cities and simply pressed record. That's it. That's all it took to shatter 400 years of carefully constructed lies. And now, the people who built those lies are panicking, because once you see the truth, you can never unsee it. For centuries, the West has carefully curated the image of Africa that reaches global audiences. Through news reports, documentaries, charity advertisements, and Hollywood films, they have painted our continent with one brush: poverty, disease, desperation, and helplessness. This narrative has served them well. It justifies their humanitarian interventions. It legitimizes their continued extraction of our resources. It positions them as saviors while we remain perpetual victims in the global imagination. But then came Speed. Through his highly viral African tour, broadcast live and unfiltered to millions across the globe, IShowSpeed has shattered that carefully constructed illusion. His live streams from countries across our continent have become something far more significant than entertainment. They have become an act of digital decolonization, a counter-narrative so powerful that it has left Western audiences in a state of crisis, confusion, and even tears. The reactions have been nothing short of extraordinary. Across social media platforms, particularly TikTok, YouTube, and Twitter, American and European viewers who have spent their entire lives consuming Western media's portrayal of Africa are experiencing what can only be described as cognitive dissonance. They are watching Speed's streams and seeing vibrant cities with modern infrastructure, bustling markets filled with commerce, young people dressed in contemporary fashion, smartphones everywhere, luxury cars navigating well-paved roads, and crowds of thousands gathering not in desperation but in celebration.
What I really love and admire about IShowSpeed's Africa tour is the fact that he's showcasing Africa in all of its complexities and contradictions. He's not just going to the parts of our countries that are developed and have modern cities. He's also visiting communities that sit on the outskirts that are living more traditional agricultural sedentary lifestyles or nomadic lifestyles. He's visiting villages and meeting with community elders and royals. He's showing respect to all facets of our societies, which is what truly humanizes us, because Africa is a very complex continent with different sides to it, right? It's not fully modernized and it's not fully traditional. It's not fully perfect and it's not fully imperfect. It's all of it at once. And once you paint an honest image of Africa, then you show respect to everybody who lives within African societies, as opposed to just one part that is deemed more palatable based on Western criteria. But IShowSpeed has done a really good job at humanizing everybody, and I love that about him, and I hope he continues to do what he's doing, because this is honest representation that Africa has been lacking for a very long time. I think it's also important for people to realize that just because a country has infrastructure doesn't mean that country is thriving. Because I see a lot of comments under these videos of IShowSpeed visiting different African countries where people are saying, oh, Africa's not poor. Look at all these cities that are developed. Africa's not poor. And it's just like, well, how do you define poor? Because sure, we have infrastructure in some of our countries, but is the wealth trickling down? A lot of these cities are built on foreign debt, and there is a lot of corruption, which is stifling our economic progress in some of our countries. So how do we define poor? Because sure, we have resources, but are the people benefiting from those resources? Are the taxes going towards healthcare, education, and housing? Are people able to save enough money? Are people able to achieve upward social mobility in these countries? can't look at the aesthetic of a country and assume that it's thriving, because there's countries in the West, such as Europe and North America, that have adequate infrastructure, and yet homelessness is insanely high. Like, the way a country looks is not an indicator of how well it's thriving, and it's important to remember that.
These are not isolated reactions. They are flooding in by the thousands, representing a mass awakening to a truth that Pan-Africanists have been shouting for generations. Africa is not what they told you it is. The West is breaking down because IShowSpeed has committed the ultimate transgression. He has allowed millions of people to see Africa without their filter, without their editorial control, without their narrative framework. And in doing so,
I'm gonna let y'all know now, when I do plan to come to Ghana, I'm gonna need the same massage that Speed got, because I feel like I deserve it more than him. After all the lashes that I used to get in JHS from this year, like, bro, I do this.
Y'all are really upset that people are seeing Africa as a whole in a better light just because of IShowSpeed's stream. Did you want them to see it worse? The same way your government and your media controls your narrative of other countries around the world is the same way that ours controls ours. We grew up hearing the eyes of an angel and seeing a fat white woman stand next to a very malnourished African child with a protruding stomach and flies on their eyes. That's the perception they gave us. And a lot of us, like myself, have gone on to fly in and discover and meet and enjoy cultures and see the beauty that Africa has as a whole. Because I dare you to go country for country in Africa with me. Be grateful that IShowSpeed is showing people the differences of Africa and how beautiful you are. You're wild. You're wild. And this behavior is exactly why people think that Africa ain't about nothing. You're not using your data to Google or watch anything about history. You're just using it to be foolish. Please stop.
I watched IShowSpeed live stream in Ghana for 5 hours. I don't normally watch his live, so the only reason I watched it was because it was in Ghana. But what was interesting was that you could see a lot of talents. Like, I feel like the reason why it was so long, it was 5 hours, was because there were just so many people that had talent and they wanted to show their talents to him. The sad part about the live was that you could really see the greed of a few is overshadowing all the talent that is out there. There was not a lot of time spent on people that were raw, they were pure, and they were really trying to show their talent. Whereas, like, people who you knew, like, somehow they are trying to make it about themselves by, like, the way they introduce themselves, from the titles that they use, and then, you know, the guy doesn't care about your name, but you want to mention that is your, like, you want to mention that, oh, remember me, this is me, right? Or, like, advertise it out there. I really love how they ended it, because it was just funny. I loved the ending, but then there were two major things in the live stream that were really heartbreaking to watch. The first one was the naming ceremony. They did like a naming ceremony for him to, like, basically give him a Ghanaian name. And in essence, this is very beautiful. But in action, such events, they consume so much time, right? You know, for such a fast live stream, I think it was maybe they needed a different setup. And to see, like, the MPs come in and by forces, like, pushing his children to come on TV, and it was just, I don't know, it was just sad to watch. The second part was when he visited Kwame Nkrumah Museum. And I think that to me was just like, oh, like, I can't watch this. There was a guy that, he was like a tour guide. And he was basically telling the bodyguard, no, he has to learn the history. And the bodyguard kept telling him, like, dude, that's his life. He decides what he wants to do. And he's like, no. And you know, like, what was really disturbing me was that the guy was not even putting his phone in his pocket, like he was with his phone, like pointing at the guy with his phone. And you're like, have some, you know? So like he got to a point that the bodyguard was like, dude, you know what? Come and talk to the guy. I don't know. And then he was like basically forcing the guy to understand the history. And I swear, even me, that I love history and I love to learn about history, I wasn't even listening. I was like, when is this going to stop? It's one of those things that you wish it wasn't like that, you know? But it is what it is, right? It's just sad. It's just sad to see, like, look, there are so many talented people and they had been given such a short time, and then you had to...
Bro, Speed really changing the game for real. Like, I didn't know Africa was such a beautiful country. They got cars, they got water, they got Wi-Fi. Like, we was lied to. We was really lied to. The music in Africa is just so beautiful. I used to think the only song in Africa was Waka Waka by Shakira. Come to find out, they got Davido. The US government really brainwashed us, bro. We need to go back to our brothers and sisters. Like, I really thought everybody in Africa speaks like this. And the best part of all, hear me out. Hear me out. You're not gonna believe this. They got more than one country. No, I'm not kidding. They got more. I thought it was just Africa. I really thought it was just Africa. I'm like, don't cancel me for this, but I low-key thought they live in huts. I like, you know, that's just what they teaches us. Like,
it's just too much of an overload of this IShowSpeed. All they do is have him on there right now. Everybody coming off like it's overkill. If people are like thirsty, they're fanning out. He is a human being. Like, I don't understand. He's a human, like a regular young guy.
it's not about praising IShowSpeed. It's about the fact that he's in Africa. Are you showing Africa to the people who are thinking there's no water in Africa, there's no food, there are just monkeys in Africa? That's what they all think. IShowSpeed is in Africa, exploring Africa. He is showing the world Africa and the real side of Africa. We are proud of him because he's doing something. He's doing something for Africa. And that's why we are so proud of him.
Man, this whole time, bro, they made us fucking think Africa was such a poor country, bro. Such a place you wouldn't want to be at, bro. And Speed is single-handedly changing my perspective on life. Like, the music in Africa, the culture, everything, every single aspect of Africa just makes my insides feel so good, bro. And it makes me just want to leave America. Bro, I feel like America is the trap. America is the trap. The American dream is the trap. Everybody else is free, but not free from America. America's the problem, bro. America's the fucking problem. And I'm ready to get the fuck out of here. Like, Speed, thank you, bro.
These are the parts that the Western world do not show them. And that is why you see some of them are very emotional after seeing Africa or Ghana for the first time. You know, some of them think that African does not have motor, does not live in a house, they live on the trees. Some of them think that after African does not have infrastructures, good infrastructures. You know, you could see that American guy said that he thought Ghana was looking like, you know, the old modern house, not until he came into Ghana and then he found out that Ghana is looking like Ghana is obviously a very beautiful country. So IShowSpeed coming into Ghana have actually made a lot of people very emotional, and Ghana made African proud. This is so beautiful. I don't know what the Western world, Americans, what they show, you know, them there, but the thing is, it is not true. This is brainwashed. They are really brainwashed, you know, Americans about Africa, which is not really making sense. I'll tell you for a fact, if you haven't visited Africa for the first first time, please make sure you try visiting Ghana, and you will get all the history of Africa, and even the ones they've lied to you about, you'll be cleared about it. Ghana is a tourist country, and that is why you see a lot of people are, crying, very falling on emotions after seeing Africa for the first time. Anyway, if you're just seeing me for the first time, I'm Lilian. Please do all by liking this video, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much. I'll see you on my next one. Bye.